Well, hello. You made it to Thursday. You made it past hump day. Congratulations. Grab a beverage and a seat. Check your judgment. Yes, I wore the same sweatshirt yesterday. This is a judgment-free zone. I did in the morning change out of this, showered the whole 9 yards. This morning I threw it back on to walk Duncan, and my morning has been run. So I have not changed out of this. I know that it is 12:30. No judgment. So grab your beverage. I have so many questions to ask you today. I hope you're in a talkative mood. Yes, I'm still drinking my coffee, believe it or not. That's the kind of day that my day has been. So first, let me explain. So you know we're demoing. Well, the plumbers came today, and they came at 8, and they cut the water off, and I took Duncan for a walk, and I came back, and I needed John's help to return some items that we had purchased and pick up some different ones. He's like, we better go soon because I need to get ready for work. And I was like, all right. So without really thinking, I didn't eat, and I just jumped in the car and we went. And as luck would have it, it took a little longer to do the returns, and they didn't have the items that I needed. So then we had to go to another store, and I went in, and then I couldn't process. My brain wasn't working, and I got back. He's like, where's the stuff you were supposed to? I was like, I don't think they had he's like, what do you mean? And we walked through the whole thing. I was like, turn around. I'm going to go back and get that. That was what I needed. So he turned around, the nice guy that he is, very patient. And I went and I got my stuff, and we came home, and I was starving, like crazy starving. Do you get to the point where you're crazy starving? Like all you want to do is snack on things, whether that's, for me, it's usually a carb, right? I'd love to snack on pretzels or chips or, I don't know, snack on something, right? Because I'm so hungry, I don't have the time or the bandwidth to even process and be able to wait. So, I checked my desire at the door, and I came in and I heated up some chicken meatballs. They're already cooked. You just kind of got to brown them. So I did that as I was cutting up vegetables. I was like, this is not going to be satisfying. This is so not going to be satisfying. I want like a big bowl of macaroni and cheese or something. I'm hungry. And I was like, Amy, just eat this and see how you feel. So I ate the chicken meatballs. They're very tasty, by the way, if you need a quick fix. And they're really cooked, so I could have eaten them. I could have eaten them cold. They wouldn't have tasted very good, but I could have eaten them cold. And like a bunch of chopped vegetables with some, a couple of pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds, and some vinegar. And then I get a fruit. So the first question I have for you is, what do you do when you're starving? Do you snack as you're making your meal? Please tell me I'm not the only one that does this. I remember as a kid that my dad would pull out chips or cereal or something along those lines and be eating that as my mother was making dinner. And she would yell, stop eating, stop snacking, I'm making dinner. You're going to ruin your appetite. And I think that's where I learned it, that if I plan properly, I don't get to that point. But I had not planned properly. I could have grabbed something to eat in the car, and I didn't do that. I just jumped in the car and we went. And as a result, I was like, I couldn't even function. I couldn't think. It doesn't help. If you can hear me, it doesn't help that I'm congested. With all the dust that's flying around here from the demo, it has really taken its toll on my respiratory. My nose is all inflamed and it's draining like crazy. So it makes it a little challenging to think clearly, especially when I've got so much congestion, and then to not have any food. was a bad combination, but I'm proud of myself because my go-to, if I can't do chips or pretzels or cereal or some carb, then I go for nuts because they're snacky, right? You can put one in your mouth at a time, put a couple in your mouth. And so I usually go for nuts. I always have raw pecans. Those are my go-to actually. Pecans, almonds, have raw almonds on hand. I'm almost out of raw walnuts, but those aren't my favorite. I love filberts or hazelnuts. I love macadamia nuts. Those are yummy, especially the flavored kind, the ones you shouldn't eat. You should just eat the ones with salt, but the flavored ones are really good too. Pistachio nuts. Oh, I actually had pistachio nuts in there. Glad I didn't know that because I would have snacked on the entire bag as I was making my lunch. So what do you go to? Do you have I know, I can go to, and there are some times that I've done this. I bought mushrooms and I've eaten a whole small pack of mushrooms as I'm cooking dinner because I'm so like crazy hungry that I just can't wait. I've eaten a whole bell pepper as I'm waiting because on the meal plan that I'm on, mushrooms and bell peppers are free food. I can have as much of that as I want. So I will eat all of that, whereas nuts, I'm not supposed to have so much of that. So what do you go for? Or do you just wait? You're patient and you wait until dinner's ready. Yeah, patience isn't my long suit. Yeah, and I know that. Patience isn't my long suit. So let me know in a comment below. Do you snack as you're preparing a meal? And if so, what do you snack on? I'd love to know a healthy option. Celery just doesn't cut it, you guys. Just saying. So that was my first question. You know, what do you do when you're really hungry and you're making, and it's taken a while? Second question is, have you ever tried a recipe that looked good on TikTok or Instagram and then you weren't sure if that was going to turn out good? Yes? Okay, so that is what I decided to do with my banana. I was going to choose a banana as my fruit. And I have a recipe that's literally 3 ingredients. It was a banana, cacao powder, an egg, and, well, 4 ingredients, and baking powder. And you mix them up, put them in. I put it in like a little ramekin, and it's supposed to be brownies. I will tell you, it was super thick, super duper thick. And I figured it doesn't add any other things. Like I didn't have to do a nut butter to it that would add a fat. I didn't have to do sugar because the banana served as sugar. So, or sweetener, whether that's maple syrup or honey or coconut sugar. I didn't add anything like that. I did put a couple of walnuts in them because I thought that's going to be really dense and way probably too chocolatey for me. And it said that it needed to cook. They put it in like a loaf pan or a baking pan. Oh, you guys, this nose is awful. And I think it needs a little more time. Let's try 5 more minutes. So I put them in little, I should show you. Okay, hold on. Don't judge, my oven's a mess. Hold on. So aren't they cute? Yeah, I divided them into 2. And truth be told, I can eat a whole banana and a little bit more fruit. So I can actually eat both of them. And yeah, I have a little more protein with the egg. That is the only way I can eat an egg is if it is cooked at a high temperature for a long duration of time. Otherwise, it sends me into the bathroom. So, yeah, everything else is a free, like cacao. There's nothing, it's just cocoa. There's nothing in there. And baking powder, there's nothing there. So I worked within the parameters I have been given and still found a sweet. Have you ever done that? The doctor or you're on a specific eating plan and you found recipes that are kind of outside the box of what they really want you to do, but it falls within all of the rules and the guidelines. So that's what I've done. And I figured since it was in a smaller ramekin, it shouldn't take 40 minutes. So I just put it in for 15, but it looks kind of gooey in the middle. So I'm going to put it in for another 5, and we'll see how it looks. So that's my second question. How do you stay within your meal plan or your eating plan and still make it work and still have the yummy things? Do you have, thankfully, there's so many things on the internet. There was this one that was literally, I think it was egg whites, cacao, and a sweetener. I think it was egg whites, cacao, and a sweetener. It didn't even have a banana in it. And some of the things I find and I save for John because he can't do bananas unless they're cooked like this one is. So he'll have some of this, I'm sure, because he's a chocoholic. I don't love chocolate. Honestly, I didn't eat chocolate for years, for decades. I didn't even eat chocolate until I realized that cocoa is not the same thing as cacao. I'm going to say that again. Cocoa is not the same thing as cacao. Cocoa is highly processed cocoa bean. There's very little nutrients left in it. Cacao is not as processed. It's still the cocoa bean, but it's not as processed. So it has a lot of nutritious value in cacao, raw cacao. And there's also fillers and stuff in cocoa. Cacao is literally the cocoa bean. So, yes, I use cacao now when I need something chocolatey, and my family is like floored because for 35 years, probably more than that, I stopped eating chocolate in, I think, 86 or 87. So how many years is that? 40 years? Long time. And I, more recently allowed myself to taste it again in the hopes that it wouldn't send me on a crazy cycle of sweet and salty and sweet and salty and sweet and salty. So, but because I haven't had it for literally decades, it's okay. It's okay. I have to really be in the mood for it. So, yeah, and I probably would have preferred, and now that I'm thinking about it, just a banana bread as opposed to chocolate banana thing. But it is what it is now. I only had the one banana. So anyway, what kind of recipes do you find? How creative do you get when you want to stay within a meal plan or a lifestyle, but still have some yummies? I did, for my Mahjong group, make them what I call quinoa crack. And it's quinoa, chia seeds, coconut oil, maple syrup. I think that's about it. You mix it up, you put it in a pan, and you bake it. And then as it cools, it's literally like toffee. And it's so good that it's like crack. It's really hard to just eat one piece. Almost impossible. And they could testify to that because they've tried it. Let's see how this is now. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay, now we gotta let it cool. Do I have the patience to let it cool? Yes, I do. I can do this. I can so do this. Hang on. Here we are. And got all sorts of stuff on my counter. Nope, it doesn't like me to do that. Hang on. There we go. I think these are done. I think they're done. They may be overdone for all I know. We'll see. And it may be too chocolatey. I may take one bite and be like, bleh, and then just go grab some blueberries and strawberries. We'll see. But it was fun. It didn't take that long. It wasn't a whole lot of ingredients, and it fell within the parameters of my plan. So I'll let you know how that one is. I found that on TikTok or Instagram or something. One of the many that I have been looking at. And I don't really do sweets because the problem for me is once I do them, I want them more often. But I figured this isn't really a sweet because it's banana. It's just a banana and cacao, basically. You're probably going like, blah, Amy, that sounds disgusting. I'll let you know. I also have another question for you. How do you handle when you have a certain schedule in your head on how your day is going to go, and then it doesn't go that way? Like, look, it's almost 1 o'clock. I'm not showered. I'm not dressed. I still need to pack my bag. I still need to... I'm leaving to go see my daughter today. So I still need to pack my bag. I still need to order some supplies that were discussed in our meeting with the construction person and the decorator. I still need to order those. There's still some things that I need to do that I haven't done. I also need to pack up some food that I'm just going to eat up there. And so my day hasn't really gone exactly according to plan, because by now I should be packed. By now I should be, should. You hear that? Should. That's very judgmental on myself. I had planned to be done by now, and I am not. And I am, I will be. It'll all be okay. But do you get your panties in a wad when your day kind of goes off the rails? When you're going to work and you have a full day of meetings and all of a sudden your kid calls and says, Mom, I'm sick, or Dad, I'm sick. I need you to come pick me up. Or something happens at home and it delays you from leaving and now everything is delayed. Or what's another thing that happens? A car issue, or, your day just doesn't go as you anticipated. Things have happened that you couldn't foresee and didn't plan for, and therefore your day doesn't go exactly as planned. How do you deal with that? Do you get mad? Do you get stressed? Do you start to feel overwhelmed? Because here's what I know to be true. Those situations you can't control. Neither can I. I can't control some of the things that are happening today for me. Can't control. I'm grateful that because I feel so crappy, I was able to reschedule an eye appointment that is an hour away. They dilate my eyes, and then I'm basically cashed for the rest of the day. And it was just adding way too much stress to my day. The timing of it, and then my husband getting very nervous and anxious about getting out of that appointment in time to get him to the airport. It was too much stress. It wasn't worth it. I just rescheduled. And grateful that they allowed me to do that, especially since my appointment was going to be in like 30 minutes. And yes, I did it first thing this morning. But I work around the things that I have control over. When I needed to rely on John to drive me to these places because the items were bigger than would fit in the car, and I hate driving his truck. Absolutely despise it. I needed to work around his schedule, and his schedule wasn't necessarily in alignment with mine. And so I needed to take a deep breath and just say, it'll all work out. It'll be okay. There are some things that I can do from the road. There are some things I can do from my daughter's house. There are some, the things that I can't, I'll take care of now. I will put it on fast forward, and it'll force me to make decisions on what to throw in the luggage. Luckily, there's stores up there, so if I forget a pair of socks, I can borrow some of hers. Or if I don't have a jacket, there's plenty of jackets if it's cold up there. Or hair products. Or, if I forget something, there's stores up there that I can run to. Not the best, but that's okay. Take the stress off of yourself. Take the stress off yourself. Take a deep breath. I can barely breathe. Let that stress, that overwhelm, the things that we can't control go. What can I control? I can change my appointment, right? I can do the things I need to do that need the help of others now. I didn't have to make something. I could have just grabbed the banana and started packing. Screw it. I didn't feel like doing that. Right? I made decisions that I'm going to wait and cook that while I'm talking to you. And I'm going to get off here in a minute and go pack. And although it might take me longer than anticipated, it's not going to take me 2 hours to pack for a weekend. I won't let it, right? I just won't let it. So there you go. And I can communicate with others that I need to return emails or messages when I'm in the car. When he's driving to the airport, I can have him drive to the airport, and I can do that while I'm in the car. I can do that tonight when I get to my daughter's house. It doesn't need to be right now. Just because someone texted me or someone called me doesn't mean that I need to call them back right now. Take that pressure off yourself. It's okay. It's okay. It's all going to be okay. Give yourself permission to reorganize your day. Prioritize the things that absolutely need to get done. And some things I say to myself, it needs to get done. It doesn't really need to get done. It doesn't really. Yes, it's important that I order these things. But if for some reason I do it tomorrow, it's not the end of the world, right? Not the end of the world. I know that my contractor wants them, but we just talked about that yesterday, and he didn't give me the measurements until late this morning. So it is what it is, right? Take the stress off. Focus on the things that I can control, and the things that I can't, take a deep breath and move through. And I hope that this helps you. And now I'm going to go test that brownie. You want to come before we say goodbye? All right, hold on. All right. Okay, super excited. If it's terrible, I'll be honest. Let's see. Oh, I may have overcooked it. Huh? I don't know. Looks like it's cooler. Okay. Not sweet enough. He's not going to love that. It's definitely, you can taste the banana. It's too chocolatey for me. I'm glad I put the nuts in. It needs more sweetener. It is like a dark chocolate brownie. The banana didn't give it enough sweetness. Yeah, I think that's a hard pass. But I will get some different fruit. And I'm going to go pack. And I hope that you have the most thrilling, thriving Thursday. Thanks so much for stopping by, grabbing your beverage, grabbing your seat, and chatting with me. I hope that if you are feeling overwhelmed, you'll cut yourself some slack. You'll take a deep breath. You'll focus on what you can and let what you can't go. or reschedule it like I did. I'll see you tomorrow. See ya.